Welcome to Center of Light. It's good to see you tonight. We're going to be speaking about Center of Light decision. Ongoing decision. 24/7, every day, for the rest of your life. But it's about being conscious. So much so that you integrate, default, second nature, this aspect of yourself that is always fluent, aware. There's really no work to be done except get out of the working itself. Center of Light decision. Story or glory? It's always your choice. Hello, Kelly Bird. Hello, Rena. Everyone, welcome. Let me do a couple of things real quick. Everyone has a story. And we like to tell them, don't we? We like to tell people the story of our life. Sometimes we tell too much. More often than not, we tell too much. Because without our story, we don't exist. One moment, let me check something. I like looking at the people, and it's easier for me to do this way. There we go. Hopefully that'll take care of it. Or maybe not. Either way. All right, welcome to Center of Light. Got a really good program for you today. Program is going to be a very key word here. We're going to be talking about reprogramming. I did today start a new project. I'm going to offer this to you now for free. You can go there after this presentation. Tonight before you go to bed. Engage this link. When you're laying in your bed or you want to do a meditation, I will give you a glimpse of this shortly. It's a subliminal reprogramming of the subconscious mind series I'm doing, titled, this one is titled, Let Go and Let God, Spiritual Tune-Up. It's general, but it's powerful. I've been getting into lots of audio subliminals, subconscious reprogramming lately, and I feel really good about those things that I have been playing with. I'm seeing results. We've been putting stuff in the monkey, feeding that monkey for so long. We had to give him some nutrition in order to get things, lifestyle, become, without effort, who and what and where we want to be within ourselves. So this program is Spiritual Tune-Up tonight. I'll give you an idea of what that sounds like in just a second. I will be catering to you. This is a service I am providing that you can work with me, and I will create your specific subconscious reprogramming, be it with health. You can help me write out your engrams, the subliminals in the back. You can hear them, but they're buried as they're supposed to be. The music is delicious. You want better health? You want to quit smoking cigarettes? Free yourself from alcohol? A little bit of all that? Attract your life partner. Play on the spiritual planes. Expanded awareness. Lucid dreams. Money, wealth, abundance. Want a new house? Whatever it may be, or a combination of anything you want. $20. I will cater your subconscious reprogramming for you. whatever it may be, or a combination of whatever, just anything you want. I will include your name if you choose. I will personalize it how you choose. Going in there and moving stuff around, getting the dust and the rust off of the tools, the power tools. The subconscious mind is always conscious. It always gives you everything you want, everything you programmed into your computer, to your database. Lovingly, unconditionally says, here. In fact, I'll just keep doing this until you tell me otherwise. $20, let me know. I'm now going to play you a small snippet of this subconscious programming that I created today. Let's go about 5 minutes into it so you get the feel of it. Again, this is no cost to you, the one tonight. Check it out before you go to bed. Lay down, take your clothes off, get loose. When I say take your clothes off, don't use any restrictive clothing. It's where you got to keep moving. Take off any jewelry. Be comfortable. Basically, it starts out as a meditation, and you will fall asleep like that. And once you do, the information becomes a part of your new program. Check it out. This is called Let Go and Let God, a spiritual tune-up. Hello, my name is Keith Anthony Blanchard, spiritual teacher, best-selling author, and founder of Center of Light. I now bring to you my new audio series, Center of Light Reprogramming, tapping into the source of infinite love, wealth, and expansion. The loving seed thoughts herein will be planted into the fertile ground of your subconscious and bring about your tree of life, that which you desire and deserve, in ways you never thought possible. Sit back, close your eyes, and completely let go. Remember, you are loved beyond measure. Now, with your eyes closed, begin to breathe evenly in and out. Be grateful for your breath. There is no effort in this place. Just you being here, simply. And as you continue to breathe in and out, accepting everything that is beautiful in this life that you may have never known, you simply realize that this is the place that you have been looking for, that which is most important, you. Welcome to infinite possibility and potential. Breathe in and out. Breathe with the understanding and the heart open for love, light, peace, bliss, and joy. Engage yourself into the fertile field of the subconscious. You are connected to all things, living or otherwise. You are life itself. Treat yourself in such a way that you return to this garden where all seeds will be watered, nurtured, handled with care to bring about the full you that you are at your essence, as you breathe in and out. As you breathe in and out. As you relax with each breath, you fall deeper into infinite potential. And as you fall deeper into infinite potential, you are beginning to realize how to let go. In letting go, there is no effort. It's simply letting go. And as you beautifully let go even more, you find yourself in a space of absolute trust. And you fall faster and faster and faster. And beautifully within yourself, you begin to touch glimpses of yourself. Breathe in and out. Inhale. Taste how delicious that inhalation actually is. And you exhale with utmost gratitude and appreciation for life. You, in and out, continue to breathe. In and out, without a doubt, you now receive. I am amazed how easy it is for me to let go. I remember this place. It is where I belong. It is where I am. Stable, solid, consistent. That which is beautiful to me naturally comes. I no longer struggle, strain, or effort. As financial abundance continues to pour into my life in ways I never thought possible. Welcome to Center of Light. This is just a snippet of this 2-hour subconscious reprogramming I created today. I do suggest when you listen to this in meditation or when you're sleeping, if you can and it feels comfortable, headphones are amazing because of the stereo imaging that happens. Remember, if there's a subconscious reprogramming that you want, I'd be more than happy to do it for you. $20. It's yours. I will personalize it for you. I will give it my love and care. I've been doing subconscious reprogramming lately, and I'm seeing results. Getting the dust and the rust off of my power tools. I got to start them tools, get them going. Tonight is Center of Light Decision. 24/7, every day of your life, you're making decisions. You're making decisions, always making decisions. Are you conscious of those choices that you're making? We all have seen it. Just go look on your Facebook stream or your social media stream. You see it. People regurgitating and or blessing, speaking exactly who they are. I just got my COVID shot today. I got my second one coming next week. I'm not feeling too good today. Where are my prayer warriors? This can be very dangerous ground. It's your subconscious speaking through what you know as you and sharing it with other conscious and or unconscious people who buy into your story. Without your story, without our story, we feel we are going to die. Be careful when you post on Facebook or any social media platform about any said illness that is attempting to grab hold of you. The more you share this with other people, the more it will grab hold of you. Because everyone says, oh, I'm so sorry. And all this mass conscious power begins to pour into your experience to give you the attention you are seeking through such declaring, I'm not well. And when you get that pat on the back that is getting the attention you want, the subconscious says, sure, you want some more? I'll give you some more. Because you're not disconnected from anything, it begins to pour into your life in ways you never thought possible. Pro or con, the subconscious does not operate by pro or con. It knows nothing of it. All it knows is it's your slave. You are the master. But you have to become the master and reprogramming yourself. Why do you think on TV they call it programs? Television program. Think about that. Long-winded stories. Hello, John. How are you today? Man, I'm good, but let me tell you what happened last night. Last night I da 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 and everything in between. And I can't wait to tell you the story. You know why? Because this is my life. And I want you to know what's happening in my life. My story of drama creates attention. I like attention. But you can still get attention by not seeking such attention and or approval. By posting who you really are. You'll have a greater effect and begin to bring your tribe into your respect, into your fold, into your cave. You're no longer the slave because you are the brave one that took the step. You've negotiated and you've championed the mountain. You've wandered through the wilderness. Where's the wilderness? Right there. It's a long journey to climb that mountain, to reach the fountain of youth. Being aloof does not help. Clarity is one of the attributes that holds the universe together. Love and clarity. Love is the power. Clarity is that which information can pass through, unobstructed, unobscured, unencumbered. Hello, Vicky. Tonight is center of light decision. You're deciding even though you don't know you're deciding. Homecoming, crossing the bridge to the soul. The vision. No longer division. Telling people long-winded stories. How are you today, John? And they go through the gamut. Damn it. I wish I hadn't asked the question. I knew, still know, dear friend of mine, but some years ago, asking this person, how's it going, bro? I realized over a period of time, I didn't ask that question. I would just say, sup, dude, how you doing? No, I would just say, sup, dude. I wouldn't say, how you doing? That opened the door to the subconscious or the mental regurgitation of said person's life. So instead of, hey, John, how you doing? And you go through every list, every bullet point, you can just say, I'm good. I just had a bad day yesterday, but I'm getting my second win. Things are good today. That's all you really need to say. You don't need to say anything else. I understand dialogue and communication and conversation when you're hanging out with your friends and you've been working in a cubicle all week 9 to 5. I get it. Let go, but do it consciously. I'm telling you this story consciously because you asked and I want to tell you and I need to vent. Versus going unconscious in this event of constantly just yammering, yada, yada, blah, blah. Talking too much will steal your energy. It will make you tired. So one way you can possibly see if you find yourself tired a lot, simply reflect and ask yourself, how much do I talk? No story. Get out of story. When I was starting this walk, my mentor, Mr. Mike Matheson, said, Keith, since you asked me for some thoughts about your development, no story from now on. I said, what do you mean? He says, no story. He says, everywhere you go in your house, where you frequent, your bathroom, your mirror, your car, find a place. Wherever you go, put up these little signs and say, No story. And I said, well, yeah, I understand what you're saying, bro. But and he says, Keith, you're telling me a story. The one you want me to hear. The one that is not working for you. Because you see, our life is like a sentence that will come to an end after a period. Chew on that double entendre. Your life is a sentence that will come to an end after a period. But we continue to grow our story, our divine script story, paragraph by paragraph, chapter by chapter, book by book. The subconscious reprogramming is to move things around, things that are no longer beneficial for your life, and put in new information. Being in a formation, I am aligned consciously with the subconscious. There's no longer any obstruction causing destruction, only construction in my life. No story. It can be tough. Practice shortening your descriptions of things. Practice not speaking at all. Feeling more. Catch yourself telling long-winded stories, those dramatic stories that you may feel and or deem are so important to tell other people. It's all over Facebook. Check it out. From afar, as an observer, step back and see what story looks like. It's story time. You open up the book. Someone says, hey, can I read you a story? And you say, sure, I like a good story. And on Facebook stream or whatever social media platform, they open up the book and they want to read it to you. Can I read you a story? Sure. Once upon a time, the goose drank wine. And we listen to the story, because when people go off and they rant on social media streams, it can be this long. And you read every word and you go, oh, I'm sorry. Having compassion and empathy for others is phenomenal. Be careful reading that story, because depending on how you respond, you're reading your own story and responding to yourself in the same way. I don't support any story that has a mask on someone's face. I don't care who you are. I don't care how delicious your story is to me in a good way. I won't read it. In fact, I can't scroll past it fast enough. I'm just not interested. Simply not interested. We're choosing. We're deciding every moment whether we know it or not. If you choose not to decide, you have still made a choice. You can choose from phantom fears or kindness that can kill. I will choose the path that's clear. I will choose free will. Rush. Story. Talking. Yammering. Loving a story so much as you tell it, you go unconscious and you're an automatic pilot. Nobody can stop you now. Don't you dare interrupt me. As I was saying, take this a moment to reflect. Today, yesterday, when you had the chance to hang out with some people and let go a little bit, let go of the tongue, or were you conscious in telling your story? Or were you unconsciously telling your unconscious story? Story or glory? Romantic or gory? Either way. It's only two choices you have. Actually, you only have one choice. And it's in the one choice how you continually lean. And many of us, we do the back and forth dance. And many of us are learning to not move around so much and not talk so much and move around so much in the head. Humanity is busy. We're like going, and we're like going very fast. Don't we? And then when I get back from going where I went, I got a story to tell you. Your life is beautiful and should be told. What you deem as beautiful is what should be told. Then you're expanding and sharing with others the possibility that they may become like you by your example. Everyone has ample amount of opportunity. Not everyone takes it. You know why? Because they're too busy telling the story. They don't realize that there's something beyond the story, and it's actually quiet. And in that silence is a story for the ages. It's ageless, it's ancient. That is the fertile field of the subconscious mind. The unified field. God, if you will. The place where all information and energy come together to bring about everything in existence. But it requires simple, patient, non-effort persistence. Basically, stop talking. If you can use that, I need to not talk until it's truly my turn. Unless you are sharing, then it's your turn to let go because you've been working all week or whatever the situation may be. But it's important that you do these things consciously, because conscious or unconscious, you are choosing even when you don't realize you are choosing. All the same to the subconscious, it says, sure, master. Sure, master. Sure, master. And it doesn't even care if you're conscious or unconscious, because it is conscious. It just says yes and no. No, it just says yes. There is no no. And you can tell it no all you want. And now you're resisting, which makes it grow even bigger. So we have to extract the extraneous. Put it to the side. Bless it. Kiss it. Thank it. Put it to the side. When I first started this dynamic walk, it's going to start off, well, you're telling story and you're telling story and you're telling story, and then you're going to catch yourself and you're going to go, you know what, my day was actually really good today. Thank you for asking. You're going to cut yourself off. That is a monumental step of climbing Mount Fuji, Mount Everest, and you will get very proficient at it. Say what's powerful. Say what's important. But don't say anything at all. Unless you're hanging out with friends and you want to have some let go time. Again, it's very important you do it consciously. You will catch yourself if you want to, wish to, choose to, when you go unconscious. Well, Keith, I'm going to catch myself if I go unconscious. Isn't unconsciousness that which you will catch yourself when you go unconscious if you choose it? Because you're going to realize at some point in the decision you made, center of light decision, I'm interested in glory, not story. So glory is the idea of that which we can understand presently. Because if we had all the glory already, we would always be conscious. But you'll catch yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Be easy on yourself. Don't beat yourself up when you catch yourself. Love yourself because you caught yourself. I promise you. Pull out a notebook. Create these nice looking little cards. Whatever it is you need to do. And you put them everywhere in your house. You might not have a lot of people in your house to remind yourself no story. But you'll become conscious of the fact that there's always a story moving through the stream of the monkey. There's always a story. He likes stories. I'm a good little monkey. Give me a banana so I can listen to mommy or daddy tell me a bedtime story. Ooh, ooh, ah, ah. Ooh, ooh, ooh. It likes stories. And it will tell you something in return. In fact, it will never stop telling you stories. It will dictate to you what it thinks you are, trying to convince you of what you think you should do, shouldn't do, better, better not, holy, blasphemous, good, right, bad, up, down, hot, cold, evil, bad. This is all story. It's not the truth. Tonight is Center of Light Decision. Again, I made a decision today to start an audio series called Let Go and Let God. Tonight I offered, which I'll drop again shortly, a link in the forums to my prototype called Spiritual Tune-Up. Different subliminals about, you can hear them, so you're safe. You can hear them. I'm healthy. I am love personified. I am joyful. I am abundant. Infinite streams of money move through my life effortlessly and easily, so forth and so on. This is a generalization, but I will cater your own subconscious program for you. You can help me write what you want it to say. We can use your name. That way it's more personalized. Life partner, new job, new mate, car, more abundance financially, more abundance in the form of spiritual awareness, a combination of all those. You want to quit smoking, you want to quit drinking, a little bit of both of that. All you have to do is send me a message in this box, Keith. I want a program. Myself. Whatever. However it is you choose to let me know that you're interested. $20. You use it every night. Every night. And it doesn't require it to be loud. If it's very faint in the background when you hear the words, trust me, your subconscious is absorbing it like a sponge. I'm going to play a song by my brother, Mr. Danny Childress. I cannot see everybody on YouTube tonight because whatever this little screen right here is trying to convince me that I need it. Danny Childress. I'm thinking about moving back into music, at least in one aspect. I loved my gig at Silky's on world famous Beale Street. And Danny Childress, the musician I'm about to play, who was the keyboard player for the group I was with last, Grand Theft Audio, he's going to help me get back to Beale Street, which I loved the gig. I walk in there with my guitar, hundreds of people everywhere, which I love the feedback and the dynamic between myself as the artist and them as the participants. The energy turns up into this beautiful, big, bright ball of celebration of life. Here's Danny. I will post a link to his work, his beautiful music. This boy, his voice, oh my God, I love his texture. The texture of his voice is just so delicious. Great songwriter, great producer. Be right back. God, I love his texture. The texture of his voice is just so
far from home in a foreign place. A beacon in the sky, stars before my face. It's getting colder with every step I make. A chill in the air, a fear you can't shake. Who hears you when you cry? Who hears you when you call? Who'll save you? Who'll save you now? There's a voice inside tugging at your strings. Will you push away? Listen when it speaks. Knocking at your door, you can't deny.
Officially bringing Jesus to the trap. The great I am is officially bringing Jesus to the trap. The great I am is officially bringing Jesus to the trap. He's officially bringing the great I am is officially bringing Jesus to the trap. The great I am is officially bringing Jesus to the trap. The great I am is officially bringing Jesus to the trap.
I want to say thank you to that beautiful lady outside my door the other day. She has watered that fertile ground of her subconscious. Her legs are moving. She don't care what's happening. She is telling the real story. Be it Jesus or whatever it is she chooses to speak about. The level of her conviction, she's convicted in the truth. Can't take her out of it. You can't shake her out of it. There's nothing you can do to make her get out of it. She's reprogrammed her upbringing to now bringing herself up higher and exalted to a level of glory. She's gotten out of the story. She doesn't care about story. Ma'am, you need to quit that. She's in it. And it's in her, very much alive. She's made a decision. Tonight is Center of Light decision. So much so, she's integrated that decision. I don't care what people think about me. I'm in it to win it. Story or glory, it's your choice. We'll all do whatever we can, but we have to do more if we want to reach the shore of infinite abundance. Again, I am now doing personalized subconscious programming. Tell me what you want. I'll fashion it for you. I'll create it to your liking. Sleep at night or meditate. It will begin to reprogram new seeds, new thoughts, new engrams into your experience. And there is no work required. Doesn't mean you're lazy or Keith, don't I need to effort? You are efforting simply by not efforting and allowing this program to take hold of you. Be it health, quit smoking, alcohol, all those, spiritual possibilities, awareness, conscious expansion, lucid dream, travel, cosmic experiences, angelic experiences, making contact with your guides. That would be a phenomenal one. Making contact with your guides. How to recognize your guides as you make contact. The subconscious mind will always say, sure, you can have it. Contact me here. Keith, I'm interested in this program. I'm interested in this reprogramming. Everything will be audible. I will not embed it with give Keith a lot of money, go out and do some MK Ultra nonsense to someone. That's just not my way. I know about karma. And it's very graceful. People say karma's a bitch. Karma's not a bitch. Karma is grace. And it will grace you with whatever. with whatever. The subconscious always says, sure, you can have it. Contrary to popular belief, God does not answer prayers in the way you might imagine. In this way, let's liken God to the subconscious, the fertile field, unified quantum mechanical field, where energy and information come together, and always says yes. It's just that we have to see, hear, listen. See, hear, listen. But seeing is not only this. This could be seen. Can you see with your ears? I can see with my ears. Seeing is a way of taking information. It's just that we have to see, hear, listen, think, and feel correctly. The truth that somehow has been muddled, shrouded, clouded by the nonsense. And the subconscious will not say, Mr. So-and-so, are you sure you want this into your script? Doesn't say that. It always says, I am the wishing tree. I am the infinite wishing tree. Your wish is my command and commandment. The 11th commandment, that which thou hast decided. Tonight is Center of Light Decision. Story or glory, it's your choice. Rattle on, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. Yak, yak, yak. Or you can get to the point of the matter. But Shunyamurti is going to talk about what a story actually is, so we can all identify with it. Shouldn't I know what a story really looks like so I can go, I can now peg story so I can choose and make that decision to get into glory and no longer be in story. Shunyamurti is going to deliver that to you in a powerful way so you can recognize it. Starting today. Enjoy. See you in about 20 minutes.
Rather than being referred to as Homo sapiens, it would be more accurate to consider humans as Homo fictionalis. People live their lives in a fictional modality. It's said that to enjoy a good drama, one must suspend one's disbelief in a performance that one knows is false. But the ego is actually the refusal to suspend one's belief. One ends up believing the narrative that one tells oneself about one's life, believes it so deeply that they're willing to put the conflicts of the plot and the affects of the tragedy and the melodramatic feeling of victimhood into their bones. They're willing to die for a story. And so a yogi is one who puts no store in stories, who is done with all stories, because all stories are fictional stories. But the ego is simply the refusal to stop telling a story to yourself. But the interesting part of how the ego tells the story to itself is that it only consciously tells part of the story. Most of the story it tells through its body symptoms and through the way it configures its life space, the making of decisions that bring it into the repetition of particular tragic or melodramatic repetitions of circumstances that bring out all the agony. It configures momentary ecstasies that a fiction can produce, but always leave one empty, looking for more pages to turn. The ego's addicted to turning the pages or clicking on the next story on the internet, watching the next film. But it tells itself a story that always involves sin. It involves evil. It involves a perpetrator. It involves the darkness. It's not a good story if it doesn't have a good, deep, dark, demonic, evil villain in it. And sometimes the ego is put into that place in the family story, or is scapegoated in some other way. And sometimes they're all villains, and you can't find a good guy in the story. Postmodern stories tend to have only anti-heroes. The soul tells a higher story than the ego does, but it's still a storyteller. But the stories of the ancient world were more noble epics of heroism, and postmodern are more addictions to some form of heroin. It's a story of the loss of the power to tell good stories. And so one can disbelieve in the story, but make the disbelief yet another story, and that's called nihilism. And so the secret to the art of yoga is to stop telling stories to yourself, but not make a story out of that. But it's very hard to not believe in stories, because as soon as you're not a character in a story anymore, you realize you don't even exist. That's all the mind is a story. It's a storytelling machine. And once that narrative principle is removed, there's nothing left of an individual identity. And so the question for a yogi is there any other use for our creative intelligence than just telling stories and living out fictional worlds that produce suffering? Because that's all the story really can manufacture. That's his ultimate result. The dissatisfaction because nobody lives happily ever after. And so the story has to keep going, looking for that happiness that never comes. Except in death, of course, when the story ends. And isn't this the reason why people get trapped in the death drive? To create some tragic end to the story, because they can't figure out another ending. But what if it ends in the realization that it was all a meaningless fiction, pulp fiction, not a story worth telling or sacrificing your life for? And what happens the moment you realize you have, in fact, wasted your life as a character in a story that all along you knew was false, but you were loyal to that story? Because a story is a religion, you know. And you can say all the religion is a story. And so isn't Christianity just a story of sacrifice, of crucifixion, that became a model for life in the West? A story that gets retold in infinite permutations. But you could live out other versions of the story and be a Buddhist or be some Hindu on an eternal pilgrimage. You could tell any kind of story, and every story ultimately revolves around a love story. But that love story requires a fantasy in order to support itself. Because love itself is the release from all stories. If you love someone, that's what you do. You release them from the stories that they were trapped in. And that's why people want love, because love means the old story is over and now a new story can begin. And yet when people fall in love, it's called a fall because they recreate the same old story over again. And that causes the love to die, because the love is the moment of freedom from the story. Now, if we can live in that moment when we are free from the story, it's the story that magnetically pulls us into tragedy, into the sense of victimhood, into loss, into conflict, into frustration, into being willing to kill and die for something that is fictional, meaningless, but that we raised into some ideal, some flag, some principle of life that transcends all reason. But can we go beyond reason, not into a fictional story, not into a fantasy, not into the imaginary register of consciousness that demands more stories, that demands the kinds of relationships with one another that are always intervened with by stories. We use stories as buffers so as not to meet each other in the real. We use stories to manipulate one another and to justify that manipulation. And we use stories in order to live inauthentic existences and justify that inauthenticity through the simple suspension of our disbelief in the story. But once one no longer wants to use a story in order to configure a relationship and hold it within the safe boundaries or the extremely unsafe boundaries, depending on the story that you've put the other into and the demands of the particularity of the intentions of the characters that you have projected. Once you have freed yourself from that, then one needs to learn all over again what is life. And is it possible to live life beyond all fictional manifestations of illusion and to live as who we really are? But who is the storyteller? We never ask that question. We stop at who am I supposed to be in the story? And even the question of who am I becomes part of the story. You can create a very nice delusional story about being a yogi, asking the question, who am I, and very nobly reaching liberation and turning that into a fiction as well. But once you stop living in a story and looking for stories and unsettling for stories. And once the mind really liberates itself from fictions and stops believing in them and depending on them and demanding that its story be recognized by the other, then the power that had gone into storytelling is liberated. And it's liberated to discover that which is untouched by any stories. You know, you could say that a tragedy seen from a higher chakra becomes a farce. And comedy is perhaps our highest mode of literature, because we can begin to laugh at those tragedies and see them for the foolishness that they are, and not be willing to die to justify the character that you were made to play in childhood. And free yourself from the script and the demands that the script makes that you remain in character, which means remaining stupid, remaining blind, ignorant. Isn't that what Maya is? The stupidity created by the refusal to let go of the story. And so long as that's all we are, as a character in a story, we can't think outside of that character's frame of reference. And that means you can't use your reason. That means you're living inside a box and you can't think outside of it, because as soon as you do, you see the story was false. And that's what people are terrified of. Because the moment you realize that your story is false, and that any replacement story would be equally false, if you realize that without knowing who you are, they call that malignant depersonalization. But if you realize it with knowing who you are, that's called Jivan Mukti. And so the only pathology we ultimately have to deal with is the addiction to storytelling. And the refusal to stop believing in the story. And because the story is only half told and half acted out, it makes it harder to get out of the story because it feels all too real. One points to one's body's symptoms and says, but I'm really sick, or I'm really caught in this bad marriage or this bad situation, or I can't quit this job, I've got to raise the kids, or I've got to do this or that. And the story becomes all too difficult to get out of. And one has to face that one made it all too difficult to get out of because one was terrified of freedom. Because once you're free of all stories and you don't know who you are, you're terrified of psychosis, of madness, of being unable to relate to anyone, including yourself. And there's a fear that if you let go of your story, you're going to be trapped in someone else's story. And then you could be in even a worse character situation. And isn't that what Hamlet was worried about? That after death, he would just dream himself into another story, because he couldn't handle just being free, even in death. Isn't that why the soul chooses a bardo state, even a hell realm, rather than being free of stories? And isn't that why we created this world and turned it into a hell realm? Because we couldn't create any more good stories, and so we chose the horror stories, the dark stories, rather than to free ourselves, to discover what is possible beyond all fiction, to live as real, to live in the real, but to have the courage to go beyond all stories and discover what you are when you are real, when you are present, and when your mind is silent and not spinning tales anymore, and even your body's symptoms have been silenced, so you stop believing you're a body anymore, and you realize you are pure consciousness that is beyond all fictional capture. That freedom enables life to be lived not as a story any longer, but as the purity of divine presence. Divine presence in which, because of the freedom from stories, there is freedom from duality. There is freedom from judgment. There is freedom from guilt and shame and all the other plot lines that are enforced upon the characters in the stories. There is freedom for the true nature of the self to emerge and bring a kind of joy and power into the real of the world that we do not know because we only know its fictional levels, because our minds have been trapped in those fictional levels of consciousness. But to know the world as it really is, to know samsara as nirvana, not simply as a concept of non-duality, but as the truth of our being. This is what is called in the religious stories the glory of God, the kingdom of heaven. But so long as it is only a story, it will never be real. And to make those story concepts into reality, we must break free of all the stories in which our minds have been captured. May we have the courage to free ourselves from all the storylines that have become the spider webs in which our lives have been trapped, and discover the power of the mind to create a reality that is free of all the limitations of narrative, in which we can recognize the infinite depth of being of one another and to meet each other as the real manifestations of the purity of the self. The one self whose story we are living out.
Remember that all things are possible. You must choose to be accountable, responsible, enough to believe, and open your heart to receive.
Welcome back to Center of Light. Glory, story, romance, or gory. Shunyamurti laid it out. How do we understand when we're telling story? You have to step back from the gory. We're always talking. We're always thinking. In essence, it's about being. Freeing oneself from the story. Your life is a sentence that will end after a period. So what do we do about that? You really don't do anything but be willing and open to a new possibility. That new possibility is reprogramming your subconscious mind, which will always tell you, yes, you can have it. The question simply becomes, yes or no, do you want it? We talk a lot, we think a lot, we move about a lot, everywhere, trying to get somewhere, hoping things will get better. Things will never get better as long as you're moving as fast as possible. When you slow down, then we can ground a new programming in the subconscious. That which says you can have it. So it's not about your religion, because that's a story, beautiful story, but it is a story. To paraphrase Shunyamurti, your delicious story sounds lovely and beautiful, but it's still a story. So what is the best story beyond that which I think is lovely, delicious, and beautiful? It's the no story, or the history, or the shistory. You gotta be gender correct. You have to be willing to be in something different for something different to ever happen. I am offering again my services, $20. It's not the money, it's the give and receive, but I do intend to make this story of mine without end, offering what I do to receive that very same abundance that I will offer you in this self-signature of subliminal reprogramming your subconscious mind for you. You can tell me what you wanted to say. I will use your name, be it health, quit smoking, quit drinking, quit thinking, quit stinking, quit blinking, whatever it is for you. I'll make it 2-3 hours, however long you need it to be. All night. Reintroduce or introduce to your subconscious something that has been excluded for so long. The unified field, the genie in the bottle, the wishing tree that always says you can have it. What do you want? So you can have it. We do this same thing through religion, through spiritual practice or sadhana. But can we do this by not efforting at all? You sure can. Sleeping is an amazing way to wake up. That is like icing on your cake. Make no mistake, it is very powerful. Let me know if you want my services in this way. And in this way, we'll move. I'm really starting to love the subconscious programming from the things I found on the internet. I'm seeing the results. Thank you everyone for joining me tonight on Center of Light. Story or glory? Story or glory? It's really your choice. Even though you are not aware that you're choosing, you are choosing. And it is the voice that will carry you to love or dismay. However you choose to play, there is no other way about it. I'm Keith Anthony Blanchard. I love you beyond measure. You are a treasure to me. Rena says, great program. Thank you. Program? Great program. Thank you, Rena. Well, Keith, there is no well about it. In fact, the wellspring, without a doubt about it, comes from what you choose. Your decision. It's simply a reprogramming of what you think is real into that which is the infinite truth. That is the reality. So I'm going to leave you with a couple of minutes of this new series I'm offering. If you have headphones, go get them. Go get them. Put them in. The stereo imaging is amazing. The music is amazing. What you will hear is amazing for you. And when I cut off this 5-minute repeat of what I offered earlier, when you go to bed tonight, release yourself of any restrictive clothing or jewelry and fall into the real bling bling of the jewelry, you or the gem. You're the sacred gem. And when you go to sleep tonight, let this go to work on you without working whatsoever. It is my spiritual forever endeavor to empower you with the truth. So what is the truth? Maybe nothing is true at all. Maybe that's the truth. Except the existence of you. And what you do with that. I love you. Hello, my name is Keith Anthony Blanchard, spiritual teacher, best-selling author, and founder of Center of Light. I now bring to you my new audio series, Center of Light Reprogramming, tapping into the source of infinite love, wealth, and expansion. The loving seed thoughts herein will be planted into the fertile ground of your subconscious and bring about your tree of life, that which you desire and deserve, in ways you never thought possible. Sit back, close your eyes, and completely let go. Remember, you are loved beyond measure. Now, with your eyes closed, begin to breathe evenly in and out. Be grateful for your breath. There is no effort in this place. Just you being here, simply. And as you continue to breathe in and out, accepting everything that is beautiful in this life that you may have never known, you simply realize that this is the place that you have been looking for, that which is most important, you. Welcome to infinite possibility and potential. Breathe in and out. Breathe with the understanding and the heart open for love, light, peace, bliss, and joy. Engage yourself into the fertile field of the subconscious. You are connected to all things, living or otherwise. You are life itself. Treat yourself in such a way that you return to this garden where all seeds will be watered, nurtured, handled with care to bring about the full you that you are at your essence as you breathe in and out. As you breathe in and out. As you relax with each breath, you fall deeper into infinite potential. And as you fall deeper into infinite potential, you are beginning to realize how to let go. In letting go, there is no effort. It's simply letting go. And as you beautifully let go even more, you find yourself in a space of absolute trust. And you fall faster and faster and faster. And beautifully within yourself, you begin to touch glimpses of yourself. Breathe in and out. Inhale. Taste how delicious that inhalation actually is. And you exhale with utmost gratitude and appreciation for life. You, in and out, continue to breathe. In and out, without a doubt, you now receive. I am amazed how easy it is for me to let go. I remember this place. It is where I belong. It is where I am. Stable, solid, consistent. That which is beautiful to me naturally comes. I no longer struggle, strain, or effort. As financial abundance continues to pour into my life in ways I never thought possible. Infinitely, gratitude, health, abundance, peace rapidly moves into my life. Yes, I am conscious of who I am at my essence. The river of life moves through me effortlessly as I consciously let go and ride the stream. I am my divine power. I use it responsibly, not only for myself, but for others. Infinite streams of financial abundance are now at my disposal. I am financially wealthy. I am mentally clear. I'm emotionally loving. I'm spiritually illumined. Infinite abundance flows to me now effortlessly and easily. I am open, completely open. My mind, my heart, everything about me is open to receive the blessings of Spirit. I deserve infinite abundance. I am infinite abundance. Radiant, vibrant health.
caring for others. I am what I have been looking for. I love myself completely. I now claim joy. I now claim peace. I now claim abundance. Infinite streams of financial abundance